The question of why me ends up coming up a lot in basically our entire lives, and in pretty much in every aspect of our life. We kind of tend to see the downside of things all the time, and we always tend to focus on the negative side of things as well. So obviously, naturally, the question of why me always comes up. um, I have definitely asked that question a lot in my life whenever something bad has happened to me. I have questioned on why is God doing this to me? What exactly did I deserve to go through this punishment? Why me? In terms of, am I the only person on this planet that this was supposed to happen to? Like, am I the only person that God found that he could actually punish and hurt this way? Or like, why am I exactly going through this? And the pain and the questions just keep on arising. And reflecting back on it, I understand that it's not productive whatsoever. But not only is it not productive, but one of the things that I myself hold accountable for is obviously, in the first place, asking that question. But this phrase and this question of why me, it ends up encapsulating ungratefulness the best way possible. Like, honestly, I truly can't find a question or a sentence or a phrase that doesn't encapsulate ungratefulness much better than this. And I really do mean that. When somebody always asks why me, whenever they're going through something, whenever they have experienced some type of loss, or maybe they've experienced a very traumatic thing that has happened in their life, or whatever really that they're going through, whether it be a loss of a loved one, whether it be the loss of love, whether it be losing a job, or their business going to crap, or whatever the case might be, they always end up asking why me. And regardless of whether you're Muslim, you're Christian, or you're Buddhist, or really just anybody of faith or even lack thereof, you somehow have this initial reaction because you think that the world and the universe kind of just circles around you, and the universe and God was supposed to take care of you at all times and keep you happy, and never were you supposed to experience any sadness in your life or any distress. And really, going through life, that could not be anything further from the truth, and I hope you understand that as well. We've all been through things in life, and we all end up always asking why me for some reason. And it's a pretty bad habit, if you ask me, to be honest with you. The reason why I think that it's such a bad habit is genuinely because we only end up asking this question whenever something bad happens in our life. But whenever it comes to something good happening into our lives, all of a sudden it's something that we have done to deserve the good things. Oh, I got this degree because I studied really hard for it. Or, oh, I got this job because I made all A's and I was applying to 50 different jobs every single day. That's how I got this job. And we have just tens and thousands of ways to actually just compliment us on our own success and attribute it back to us. But whenever it comes to any of the failures that we actually go through, whether it be not getting the job that we wanted, or bombing the interview, or maybe failing through law school or medical school, or not getting into college, or maybe not even passing a grade in high school, or maybe failing an AP test, or whatever the case might be, we always end up attributing it to something divine and something bigger than us, or just the universe's plan all of a sudden. But we never seem to do that whenever we are actually happy and successful and just going through life, extremely content. Our relationships are working because, well, I make the sacrifices of them working, so that therefore they're going to obviously work because I'm so great at managing my relationships with my parents, or my girlfriend or boyfriend or wife and husband and sister, brother, whatever relationship that you possibly have that you're extremely proud of. All of a sudden it's you putting in the work and making it all work. Whether it's business, or you doing well in your job and progressing throughout your career and getting pay bumps every single year, it's you. It's all you. You have done so much hard work, you have put in the hours, and that's exactly why you're succeeding. And on the very first step of difficulty, whether it be your girlfriend leaving, your boyfriend leaving, or you don't get to be with the girl or the guy that you actually want to be with, or they somehow are unfaithful to you, or infidelity is involved. All of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, like, why is God punishing me? Like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, I'm a good person. Like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Like, what exactly is the universe or God or Allah getting out of the pain that he is trying to demonstrate to me or to show me? Like, why exactly is this happening to me? The same thing goes for, when you get laid off. Like, oh my God, the economy is so bad, but like all my other friends, they still have their jobs and I don't anymore. Like, how is this any type of fair? Like, I worked so hard in my career, and how could God do this to me? How could he punish me in this way? And you just completely, like it's never your fault. It's never supposed to be your fault either. All of the successes that you have in your life, they're all from you. But any of the faults, any of the difficulties that you go through, even if your difficulties are literally just the culmination of your terrible and bad decisions, is just never your fault. Like, you lied your way to get to the job that you wanted, and you lied on your resume, you lied in an interview, you lied on every place to get that job. And all of a sudden, 6 months in, when people realize that you actually don't know anything and you get fired, oh, how can God do this to you? Like, well, bro, like, you lied. What did you expect was going to happen? And think about this. Think about all the things that you have ever wanted in your life, and some of the things that you have probably also got as well. Whenever you receive those things, whenever you um, kind of get them, you always marvel at your own abilities. Like, oh my God, like, look how far I've came. Like, you get teary-eyed at graduations because you're like, oh my God, like, I endured so much, I sacrificed so much, I didn't go to the parties, I didn't do any of these things. Whenever you get the promotion, you want to celebrate because you're like, yeah, it's a year of hard work that I actually put in, and now I'm finally reaping the benefits of all the hard work that I put in. And whenever the opposite happens, whenever you don't get what you want, it's like, man, why isn't Allah giving this to me? Why isn't God giving this to me? And I, like, it's just so stupid. Like, how is it that we think that nothing is our fault and everything is God's fault whenever something doesn't go according to our plan? But everything is our doing whenever something goes according to our plan as well. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I think we end up forgetting who really is in control. And I think we end up forgetting that this life was not meant to be a happy place. This life was just meant to be a test. And the bad things that happen to you are not because you necessarily deserve them, but the bad things that happen are just really just a test. They become a punishment because of how you react to everything. Life is only 10% of what actually happens to you, and it's about 90% of how you actually react to it. And if you constantly react to it in the way of asking, why me? Why is this happening to me? Like, what exactly did I do to deserve it? Then you're going to end up being a loser at all times. Like, you're going to show ungratefulness at every corner of your life. You really are. How is it that we have become so arrogant to think that we can never get lucky with the things that we actually have? Because the fact of the matter is that we get tremendously lucky in the good things that actually happen to us. That new job that you apply to, you don't think that several thousand people uh, also applied to that job? You don't think that they were also praying? You don't think that their parents were also praying that, their son or daughter get that job as well? But you somehow got it. But oh, sorry, it's because of your hard work, right? It's never because, oh, the interviewer that you had was much nicer than the actual manager that is typically in place, and the actual manager was actually interviewing people and he's just a straight up a-hole. But no, it's all because of you. You just charmed that other person so much that they just had to hire you. Or, oh, maybe everybody else's resume had a typo that they missed and you got lucky and you actually caught your typo. Or, oh, maybe the AI systems that HR actually had in place were basically malfunctioning that day, so your resume just got pushed through. It's never any of the luck that has happened in your life. It's never anything divine. It's never any divine intervention that could have possibly made your life much better. But it's always divine intervention when something bad happens to you. And that's why I truly believe that this phrase and this sentence is literally just ungratefulness encapsulated in it. Like, honestly, there's really nothing more that I think shows ungratefulness other than these two words combined together. Like, why me? And here's the thing, I know a lot of people are probably going to say, well, I only ask why me because I want to understand why God is actually putting me through this. Like, I want to understand the wisdom behind this hardship. I want to understand why exactly do I need to face this when my friends and my family, they don't have to face it. Like, okay, cool. If you want to truly understand it, then you should also want to understand the flip side of it, which is you should also want to understand the wisdom behind the blessings that you actually get. So why don't you end up asking why me whenever you get blessed with something? It's it like, could it possibly be that that blessing itself is going to destroy you? Why don't you ask why me then? Because this has happened a lot. Like, we chase after a lot of material and tangible wealth, and that same wealth ends up destroying people. Like, I've seen it with my own eyes that people who were humble in the beginning and they kind of got a little bit of power, they got a little bit of money, they end up becoming arrogant people. That same wealth that they thought was such a blessing that they rightfully deserved became a means to their own destruction. So why don't you ever ask why me to learn the wisdom behind the blessings that you have in your life as well? Why is it that you only try to understand the wisdom behind hardship? So that's why you ask why me. And it's a great exercise to actually do as well. If it's so necessary for you to ask why me, what in times of hardship, in times of sadness, in times of depression, in times of anxiety, then make sure that you're also asking why me in times of your happiness, in times of whenever you get something that you really want. Ask that question then as well. And if you cannot remember to ask why me in those happy moments, then don't ever ask that question again. Take life for what it is. And I think that's what we really need to do. Like, it's nothing else that we kind of have to do. Like, and here's the flip side to that question as well that I want to ask. Why not you? What makes you so special that you think that you're not going to face any hardship in life? Like, don't you think that there were people more richer than you, that were more beautiful than you, that were much more pious than you, that were obedient to their parents more than you, they were obedient to God more than you? Like, they're magnificent and fascinating people that have walked this earth that have been far greater than you and I combined. But they also faced hardships in life. Like, God never promised us not to face hardships. He said, like, yo, you're gonna face hardships, bro. Like, I'm Muslim, I have a very different perspective on things because of that. And I think that Islam does me such a solid favor of making me see that, like, yo, this life is not your final abode. Like, you're not meant to be here forever. You're going to die, right? And I try my best to keep that perspective in mind as well, that when you're going to die, like, nothing really matters. Like, it's like, okay, cool, like, that person said something about me, all right, whatever, it is what it is. Like, I'm angry in that moment, of course, but, like, I'll get over it because I'm like, yeah, he's gonna go to his grave, I'm gonna go to my grave. Like, it is what it is. It's all good. Also, another thing that I want to point out that I kind of forgot to mention a little bit before is that whenever we end up asking why me, we're also doing a very a bad comparison test as well. You see, whenever we ask why me, we always end up comparing our lives to people whose lives are actually better than us or appear better than us. But we never end up comparing our lives to those whose lives are actually worse than us. Because if you really look around, you've been given so much in your life. Like, take me as an example, okay? I look around in my life and I'm like, dude, I have a roof over my head. I have I have like an iPhone. I have this mic. I have all of this equipment that I can record my YouTube videos on. I have the time and the ability and the speaking prowess to actually record these YouTube videos. Even if my YouTube videos are complete crap, I still have the passion and the desire and the ability to chase my dreams. I still have the availability to chase my dreams as well. So many people that are so much better than me don't have any of this, right? Like some people are literally working two jobs. They don't have the time. Like they're literally like working 16-hour shifts every single day just to provide for their family. I don't have to work 16-hour days. Okay? They don't even have enough time to sleep, whereas I can work my 8-hour shift every single day right in front of a computer and call it a day, and I can sleep for the rest of the time, or I can make use of it. I can do whatever. My options are absolutely endless. The thing is, if I start comparing myself and my life to Jeff Bezos, obviously I'm going to be unhappy. Obviously I'm going to ask, why me? Why am I suffering in my office and having to work a day job when Jeff Bezos gets to chill on a mega yacht with supermodels? Like, no, duh. You're going to ask, why me then? So stop comparing yourself to like the ultra wealthy, and stop comparing yourself to what you actually see on social media, and learn how to appreciate your own life. And if you can't do that, look at the people that are beneath you. If it's so important for you to look at people who have so much more than you, always make sure to look at the opposite. And this is what I kind of alluded to before as well, that hey, look, if you're always going to ask why me whenever you're facing hardship in your life, always remember to ask why me whenever you face any type of happiness as well. Do it both ways. It's the same thing over here. If you think that your happiness is so relative to those people who have everything in this world, then always make sure to compare yourself to people who are less fortunate of you as well. Look at the people who are homeless, who have absolutely nothing. Like, go volunteer once in a while at a food bank or at a homeless shelter, or, you know, at your church or at your local mosque. Do whatever it is that you need to shift this perspective, because social media, guys, I'm telling you right now, it's not real. Okay, all these people that you see with Ferraris and Lamborghinis and these super hot models, like, not everybody is gonna get that, and it's okay. You don't need that either. But that doesn't mean that you just start asking why me because you don't get the way that you want. There's no point. It's not productive, and neither will it actually make you happy, and neither will it make you any more content than you actually are. It's just going to make you more miserable, honestly. So do yourself a favor and don't ask these idiotic questions, man. Because really, in reality, all they're going to do is make you sad. And here's the thing. Life is going to make you miserable as it is. It's going to make you sad. There's no point in making yourself more miserable by asking these stupid questions about why me. Bad things are going to happen to you. Bad things happen to your parents. Bad things are going to happen to your progeny. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. Unfortunately speaking, bad things are probably in the making for me right now as well. There's nothing that my mother can do about that. Okay? Like, it's being very frank. So keep that perspective in mind, and always try your best to appreciate and be grateful for the life that you have, and focus on the good, because I promise you it frees you from this mental and emotional prison that you have. Because I've been there, and I know people as well that are still suffering from this, that they have everything that you could potentially ever want. I also had everything that I could potentially ever want, but inside you're just miserable. And the reason why you're miserable is because you have trapped yourself into a cage. And that cage is ungratefulness. Because I always used to ask, why me? Why am I going through this? And it's such a terrible place to be. And I don't want you to be in that place either. And if you already are in that place, then I want you to get out of it as quickly as possible. But it's not going to happen until you make the first steps. And some of the first steps are always going to be just appreciating the life that you have right now. Because I guarantee you, man, when you start looking at the positives and the good things that you have in your life, you're going to find something that not a lot of people can find. And that is the feeling that you have enough. Because I promise you, you do have enough. It's just we don't think that it's enough. We think that all the flashy cars and the big houses are gonna be the things that give me enough, and that never is the case. Trust me. I made a video on this before as well. In There's a famous quote by Jim Carrey. He said that I wish everybody became rich and famous just so people could understand that that's not the answer, and I fully agree with that as well. So that's how I want to end off. Stop asking why me. Start appreciating the little things that you have in your life and also the big things as well. Bad things are going to happen to you. Sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's not. Good things are also going to happen to you. Sometimes it's because of you, and sometimes it's not going to be because of you. You have been lucky in your life. I want you to understand that, and I want you to realize that. And I want you to understand that you are blessed beyond your imagination, man. All right. Stop asking this stupid question because I don't want you to be ungrateful. Appreciate your life the way that it is. This is Yusha. I'm signing out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.